Okay, so this short video is going to be for my architectural design class. We are going to put in a floor or flooring into our first or main floor plan. I'm going to walk through how we set that up, how we can design it for each room, and also how to slightly customize in order to make the floor consistent throughout the entire room. So I'm going to start off by getting in the main room first. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is under our architecture tab, we are going to go to floor. When I click on this, okay, we're going to go look over here to the right where it's at my properties. Now yours may be to the left, but you're looking for your properties tab. Underneath your properties tab here, you're going to have a bunch of different types of floors. Now I've already done this multiple times, so I've added in a few others, but I'm going to start off with simply in the garage with a right down here, an LW concrete on metal deck, okay, because this is what most of you are going to have as a starting point. Now when I left click on this, all it's going to be is basically it's concrete on metal, where there's a metal sheet underneath the concrete. When you build a garage, they basically cast it in place, and that concrete goes directly on dirt. So we don't need the metal plate, which means I need to actually go in here and customize this. So to customize this floor and create a new one, I'm going to go to Edit Type. I'm bringing this window is going to be up. Now, I don't want to override this. So what I want to do first is I want to create a new type of floor by duplicating this first. I'm going to change this into garage floor. I'm just going to say garage floor dash 4-inch concrete. 4-inch concrete. So I'm going to make up a name here. Okay, and you can make it whatever name you want to let it know what it is. I'm going to say OK. Okay, so now the original floor that I started from is protected. All right. Now, if you look here, it tells you the default thickness is 4 1/8 inch. Okay, a standard concrete floor is actually 4 inches. This extra eighth is the metal plate. Now, what I want to do with this is I want to edit that, and then if I go into this, it shows how this is all laid out. It shows that the first structure is a metal deck at 1/8 of an inch. Well, I don't want that there. I just want the concrete, 4 inches of concrete, nothing more. So I'm going to highlight this line, and right here I'm going to hit delete. Okay, so now all I have is concrete. Now this is a lightweight concrete. I need actually some structural concrete. We're parking cars on this thing. So I'm actually going to go in here, and I'm going to hit this little triple dot right here. It's going to bring up a different material list. It takes a second to load up, so be patient. There's my list. Okay, now concrete lightweight, you got concrete precast. Precast means it's basically built off site and brought in. I'm going to actually do a concrete cast in place, which means they're actually going to pour the concrete at the site into the garage. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and then some things you can do. You can actually look at the different patterning. Like in this patterning here, I chose concrete. Sometimes I'll have it as maybe sand. Okay, I think that was what originally was, but I'm going to keep mine under a concrete. Now, if you can change any of these designs that you want. For me, I'm just going to try to keep things what they're supposed to be. So when you look at it from a two-dimensional model, you understand it's a concrete floor. So I'm going to leave it right there and say, okay. The appearance, there's things you can go in here and change. I'm not going to change any images. These are things you can actually go download and actually add them in and get really into the customizing of this, but I'm just going to leave that one alone. Right now, all I really want is a cast in place gray concrete, and all I want is the structure of concrete 4 inches thick. So I'm going to say OK right here. You'll see now it says cast in place gray concrete 4 inches, and I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit OK one more time, and now you'll notice in my properties it says floor, garage floor 4-inch concrete. Now to basically trace my garage, I got one of two choices in the create boundary. Okay, create the floor boundary. I can do line tool or I can do walls. In this case, because it's not really square, I'm just going to go ahead, and I think this is a better way to go. I'm going to actually pick the lines I want the floor to touch or get up to. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to kind of blow up on my garage here. Now again, I know I don't have the garage doors. This is again my basic model I was starting from in the beginning. Don't panic that mine aren't there. Yours should already be there. But I'm going to just use this as my model to get everything into. And I'm going to just basically start by picking on each of the lines of the inside of each wall. Okay, I'm going to go here, kind of work my way around. I need to hit this wall here. I got to blow up. Okay, you see pink lines are going to start creating a surround here all the way around. I got to hit every inside wall. Okay, and then I'm done there, but now what I got to make sure is that I have a corner. I have to have a squared off corner at every one of these junctions. And right now, I don't have a square corner here or up here. So to square off your corners, we're going to use the Modify tool, Trim Extend Corner. I will turn that on. And then I'm just going to click on the walls I want to have at a right angle. So I'm going to click on this wall here and this wall here to create a 90-degree bend. Click on this wall here and this wall here to create a 90-degree bend right here. Working my way up, I see another extension there, so I'm going to take that wall and that wall. And then I'm going to take this line and that line. Okay, continue looking around, 90 degrees there, there. It looks like now all of my corners are perfectly squared off. This is critical for you to do this. If you don't square them off and you have the extra lines, you are going to get an error message that you cannot put the floor in. Okay, so you have to square it all off. Now, once you're done with this, I'm just going to hit my check mark, and now I have a concrete floor in there. Okay, so there is my concrete floor, 4 inches thick, inside walls of my garage. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to kind of work on the interior of the house. I'm going to start off, I think I'm going to do a tile flooring in my pantry and a tile flooring in my bathroom. Okay, so I'm going to get these done first, and then I'm going to come back and add some hardwood throughout the rest of the house. All right. Once I show you a couple of these, I'm going to let you kind of choose. You do not have to do hardwood. You can pick carpet. You can actually design your own floor. I'm just going with some ideas just to show you what you can do. So again, I'm going to create a new floor under architecture. I'm going to go to floor. And again, instead of the 4-inch concrete, I'm going to drop this down and say, okay, you will find one called wood joist 10 inches ceramic tile. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that one on. But I need all my floors because the other floors I'm going to use are 12 inches. I need this one to be a 10-inch floor joist with a ceramic tile on top. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go from here and I'm going to drop this down. Actually, excuse me, I'm going to go to Edit Type. I am going to duplicate this. Okay, so I'm going to do a duplicate. I'm going to do a wood joist 12-inch. And I'm going to do tile floor. Tile flooring. And say OK. And now the original 10-inch floor is protected because now I'm going to go ahead and adjust this thickness so that it goes up to a foot. So with that said, I'm going to go here to Edit Type. And now you can see how this is basically built. There's a structure, there's a wood joist, then plywood sheathing. This equals 10 inches, and then that's 10 3/4 if you add up. Not a concrete cast in place. This should be a concrete fiberboard. I'm not sure where the concrete backer board. Let me see if I find it in here. No. Rigid insulation, exterior insulation. Oh, I'm not seeing it. Cast in place. And they're showing that it's a 1/2 inch. Structural. Maybe it is a cast in place. Usually what you do is you buy a cast or you buy a concrete fiberboard. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this one. It's a 1/2 inch thick. It's basically a self-leveling concrete. Sometimes they'll put them in bathrooms specifically to make sure the floor is level. Your floor must be perfectly level for tile. Any structural integrity that's not level in a concrete floor, or it's not concrete underneath or concrete fiberboard, will cause flexing in the floor subfloor below the tile, causing it to crack. I'm just going to leave it right here. Okay, that gives me 10 3/4, but the problem is right now I need this to be at 12 inches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right here I've got 3/4, that's 1.5 inches. I am going to make this at 11, and I'm going to do in this case actually 7/8. It's pretty common. All right, we're going to go a little bit over. We'll set up all our floor joists just like this. Our plywood sheathing will be 3/4 all the way through, and then we'll just get our other flooring because we'll do an oak flooring later that is also 3/4, so everything will match. Okay. Again, you can look at concrete on tile mosaic gray. This is an old one here. You could do a tile porcelain 4-inch. I'm going to do the bathroom first, okay? And the tile mosaic gray, what it is, if you look at the appearance, these are these tiny little tiles, okay? That's what it looks like right there, all right? In a bathroom, especially on a bathroom floor, you want small tiles so if someone's feet are wet, there's more grip. So I'm going to use this tile mosaic gray here. I'm going to leave it as it is, okay? And then basically call it good. I think I'll do in the other room, I'll do a 4-inch porcelain tile. Now actually I'll adjust it to probably an 8-inch or 12-inch tile because in that case I'm just walking on it, don't need to worry about slipping. All right, so at this point I've got everything set up the way I want. I've changed my structural joist, so I'm going to say OK. I've got my tile mosaic gray on top of concrete, on top of plywood sheathing, on top of a floor joist. I'm going to say OK again. Say OK one more time, and then this is what I'm working with. So again, I'm going to go ahead. Now this time I'm going to use walls. So I'm going to put this, I'm just going to click on the 4 walls here. Since it is a box shape, I'll use this pick walls. So I'm going to pick that wall, and this wall. Okay, and again, you'll see the pink lines in there. But you'll notice there's some overlap. I've got to fix that with my, the trim extend tool to make corners. All right. Again, I want these 2 walls here and here to be 90 degrees. So I'm going to click on that wall there and this one there to create a 90-degree bend. I'm going to go over to this corner and do the same thing. This wall and this wall make a 90-degree bend. And now with this completely closed like this, I am now going to go ahead and hit my green check mark, and now I have tile. Now one of the things I could have done here, and I'm actually going to go back, there is not really a look of tile there. So what I'm going to do is come back to my edit and go to my mosaic tile real quick. Actually go to this 3-bar. And where it says pattern, it says none. I'm actually just going to put a crosshatch small. Okay, just to make it look like tile. You'll see there's different ones in here. Okay, I'm just going to do a real small crosshatch there. So it indicates there's some tile. And it's just going to give it a tile appearance. I'm going to say apply it. Okay. And okay again. Okay, a 3rd time, and now it looks like I have a tile pattern in there. Okay, so this is good to add this on there so if you're looking in the 2-dimensional model, you understand what each piece is doing. All right, now from here, I'm going to add in some larger tile into my pantry area. Okay, now with that, I'm going to go ahead and do another floor. I'm going to go ahead and do an edit type. Oops, not edit type, sorry. I'm going to pick my floor. I'm not going to do this tile flooring. Actually, I could. I'm going to redo this one, but I'm going to duplicate this bathroom floor. 12-inch tile flooring. I'll do large tile flooring. Okay, I'll just do a duplicate. Wood joist 12-inch. I'm going to do a large tile floor. Okay, and again, you want to get creative with your names, especially if you're starting to duplicate a lot of this. You don't want to lose or have things override each other. I'm going to say OK right here, and then I'm going to edit this property. Now everything's going to stay the same except for this tile mosaic. I'm actually going to go up here and put in tile to see what I get. So you got ceiling tiles, I don't want those. Iron ductile, no. Tile mosaic, tile porcelain, vinyl composition tile. Vinyl composition tile is basically kind of like some of the older school kitchens have them. They're waterproof. They're kind of lower quality, lower expense. I think I'm just going to go with a 4-inch porcelain tile. I'm going to keep the pattern. I'm going to make this larger, so I'm going to go with a 12-inch tile pattern. You could do the 4-inch tile pattern if you want. There's 8-inch tile if you want to go there. You can do a block, 8x16. That may be something you want to put in there. I can tell you in my home I have 12x24 in a couple areas of my house. So I actually may change this one up and go an 8x16 and just kind of do a running bond here, okay? It's up to you, really. I mean, you be creative. Any one of these is just your pattern. You'll end up adding notes to this anyways to explain to what people are seeing. But in that case, I think I'm going to be unique and go block 18 or 8x16. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to apply, say OK, and OK one more time, OK to close. Again, since this is just a box, I'm going to use my walls. And I'm going to start picking the walls. And then now I've got the walls, I got to come in here and make 90 degree. But you'll notice a couple things. I'm going to have to come in here and repair something in a moment. I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to go here and make these two 90 degrees, this wall and this wall 90 degrees. this wall and that wall 90 degrees. But here's the problem. The tile needs to be on the inside here, not all the way underneath the wall. So I'm going to have to left click and drag this to that inside edge. Left click here and drag it to the inside edge. Okay, sometimes you have to make those adjustments when you pick the walls. All right, now from here, all I'm going to do is go to my green check mark, and there is my tile look in my pantry area. Okay, now if I go to the 3D look, don't mind the upstairs. Okay, I added another floor. We'll get to that in another video. But if you look carefully here, I'm actually going to do something real fast so you guys can see this. I'm going to take my ceiling here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide my ceiling by hitting this little set of glasses at the bottom down here and say hide element. And now if I go into my orbit here, okay, there is my tile floors. There is the tile in this floor. There's my concrete floor. And if you want to see it from the bottom, that's that 4-inch thickness. And then each one of these rooms is at 12-inch thickness. Okay, so that looks good. That's where we want to be. Go back to my main floor. All right, now I'm going to do one more. I'm just going to basically do the living room. And at that point, you all could finish up whatever you want to do in these rooms here. And then we'll get to this area here later in another video when we actually start putting in stairs. So I'm going to create one more room. Okay, one more floor. I'm going to add in a hardwood floor. Okay, I'm going to do a hardwood floor throughout this main area of the house. My goal will probably be actually do hardwood floor through the main floor and into this office hallway area. Okay, but maybe some of you want to do tile through here. That's really your call. I'm going to go ahead and go to floor. No, I'll do that. I'm going to save it right now. Cancel. I'm going to go ahead and do my floor. I'm going to drop this down. I'm going to do the wood joist, what is it? Wood joist 10-inch wood finish. And I want to edit that type because I need that to be a 12-inch floor. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to say a wood joist 12-inch. I'm going to go hardwood flooring. Okay, and say OK. And then I'm going to come in here and edit to make sure that it's all set the same way. So what you're going to see is I have a wood joist rafter. You can see I already kind of did this one before because I think I already had the name up there. Changed this from basically it was 9 3/4, I believe, to a 11 7/8. This is a plywood sheathing at 3/4 inch, and then the oak flooring on the top. You could actually change this if you chose to. You could just type in flooring into your search. You got oak, you got tile, porcelain, vinyl composition. You could put in, I think there's some different ones you can actually add in. I'm just going to stay with the oak flooring because it's just natural. You could also come in here and do a wood board look. Most cases, you could do a 3-inch parallel. In most cases, when you do a hardwood flooring in your house, what they do is they stagger the joints. So they do a wood board where the joints are staggered. That's what these are showing. That's what I'm going to go with. In this case, instead of doing maybe a 3-inch board, I'm going to do a 4-inch board. I'm going to go a little bit more modern and go wider. Again, it's your choice. It does not matter. You pick. This is your home. Okay, I'm going to say OK. That's going to be my style. The color, you can choose different colors if you want. I'm just going to keep it as is so it looks like oak. Say OK. You could tone it down. You can actually add like in the appearance, I believe you can add like a stain to it. So this is what the wood looks like. Is this? It's kind of a red. I think you could put a stain on there, and then that stain, I think it can lighten it up. I'm not sure which stain to use. For finish, you can do a glossy varnish. I'm going to do a satin because that's what I have in my home, so it looks a little duller when you go to a rendering. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Your stain colors you can change. Right now this is white. You could do a gray stain and say OK. Apply it. Basically, it'll give it just a more muted tone when you actually look at the house in a rendered view. The oak wood floor would have a gray tone to it. That's pretty common now. You could go with a darker brown. There's all kinds of things you can do. But at this point, I just want you to have a hardwood floor and then just say OK. The big thing I just want you to make sure that these are all the same measurements we've been working with, which we did in the tile floors. So I'm going to say OK right here. OK one more time. This, though, I'm going to use my line tool. I don't want to pick walls. There's a lot in this house. So I'm going to go to choose lines. I'm just going to start clicking on these interior walls. I'm going to have to do a lot of cleanup at the end. I'm just kind of working my way around the house. I'm just going to do the main area of the home. So these walls, the little hutch area right here. I'm going to come into this place right here. I'm actually going to even take it a step further, going into here, to here, there. I'm going to have to come in and do some serious cleanup. And I actually will stop right now and do some cleanup. Because I'm doing a lot of extra work here. I just want to kind of start getting some things dialed in. So I'm going to go ahead and get that as a corner. Come up here and look here. I see this needs to be a corner. I'm going to go ahead and have the hardwood come around this corner, and then I'm actually going to butt it up just in case I do maybe some tile or something in here. I want this to come around. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually tile all the way or go all the way around the rest of this house. It's pretty straightforward. I could simply go, you know what, I want this and that to be a corner. I'm going to say, okay, keep elements joined. Cancel that. Yeah, I want to go here and here. Nope, I need to go there. Sorry, this to this. Show. Close. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete that. I'm going to unjoin those elements. So what I'll do is highlight that and delete it. And then you hit delete. There you go. You hit delete. Okay. And then again, same thing. I can actually go in here, and you just got to work these corners very carefully. So I can actually continue tracing around the interior. So maybe I'll just do hardwood all the way to the inside. Again, I've done every house differently. This is like my 4th or 5th time doing this. So I'm going to just kind of try something different. It's going to tell me I have an overlap. Yep, right there. I'll have to fix that. I'm going to go ahead and keep kind of working around my bathroom. Now, in my bathroom, I'm going to go ahead to this line there, and I'm going to do that line there because I want the hardwood to go to right here. So it's going to butt right up to my tile. Okay, so I'll pause again. I'm going to start cleaning this up one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, now I need this and this to be a corner. So it's coming around the wall. Perfect. I want this and this to be a corner. So there goes my hardwood around. I want there and there. Okay, so now my hardwood's going to come around this bend. I want it to go from here to here. So now it's going to butt right up to my tile, and then from here to there. So it's going to come around this corner. I'm going to keep continuing with my line tool. Turn that back on. I'll turn this. Yes, I see I got a double line. We'll go back and trim. But this is all this is. I'm just doing this all the way around. Coming back, doing these walls. Okay. Kind of come around. I'll stop real quick and come back and clean some things up because I'm getting a lot of errors all of a sudden. I would like that and that to be a corner. I would like this and this to be a corner. So my hardwood's going to butt right into this. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to tell it where I want all my hardwood to go. I want a 90-degree corner here. I'm coming back up in here. I need this and this to extend into each other. I need to go here and make this and this a corner. Okay, so we're getting close. I just need to close this up by continuing my line tool some more. I'll go down that wall. It's going to tell me there's an error. I get it. We'll get it figured out. Now here's where you got to be careful, because if you start clicking on these are actually your appliances. So what I did before is I'm going to click this center line here and here, and I'm going to move those lines forward in just a second. Okay, now I'm going to stop again, go to this. I'm going to come here and make a 90-degree bend right there. And then I'm going to come down, turn that tool off. I'm actually going to drag this forward. I'm actually going to drag this forward so that these are on the edge of the wall. Okay, I'm going to actually also take and make this and this into a corner. Okay, so now I'm behind my appliances. Now I'm also going to come back in here because I want my hardwood to butt up into this floor right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead up to there, right there. I will stop real quick as soon as I get to this point here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to make a 90-degree corner here. Okay, I'll have to figure out, keep elements joined. I'll unjoin the elements. I want to make this corner here. I'm going to move this forward real quick. Let me just take this line. I'm going to move this right to there. and make sure that this and this are 90 degrees. So now my wood flooring is going to butt right up to here, and it's going to butt right up to there. Okay, going back to my line tool, I'm going to hit this wall here. I got an overlap. I'm going to actually have to go in this case. What I'll do instead here is I'm going to delete this off. Okay. And then I'm going to delete this. And now what I'll do instead is I'll take my line tool here and hit this whole entire wall. Continue over to here. This is the hard part. I had to kind of make these corners happen, you'll see. And then I'm also going to do inside my closet. These are going to stay blank because that's where I have basically all my piping and my electrical running through. And I'm going to finish off by creating my corner. So let's go back in here and make that a 90 degree. Let's make this and this together. I'm working my way around. I want to make this into a corner. Make this and this into a corner. This and this into a corner. You see, all I'm doing is just trying to make a bunch of 90 degree bends. Okay, now I'm almost done. I've got to come up and around on this and then a little bit more trim. You can see this takes a lot of detail. It takes time. You just got to be really patient as you're doing this. Just know what your pattern is. So I'm going to go here to here, here to here. I want this corner, that corner, and then I'm just going to finish off. And now it looks like I have everything I want outlined. Okay? It is tedious. I'm not going to lie. Take your time. Okay? I am also then going to go here, and I'm just going to hit my check mark. And now I have, it says hardwoods overlap. Don't panic over that. It's just because it has a slight overlap where you're, like, I think it's right here is what it's going to say. It's going to show me. It's okay. I'll live with it for right now. But basically, this is now, I've got a concrete floor, tile floor, hardwood floor in here. Okay, if you go back to your 3D view, I'll actually show you this. I'll go into my orbit. Let's take a peek inside the house. And now you can see, okay, there is the hardwood. There is my tile and my concrete. Okay, don't worry about the second floor. We'll get to that, like I said, in another video. All right, now at this point, I've got all my main flooring done. Okay, if you want to customize any of that, again, I'm leaving these spots open here. This is where all my information for my heating, ventilation, piping will come up here. Some of my electrical going to the upper floor, maybe some of my plumbing going down to the water heater in the basement. We'll leave those open. Do not cover those. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to go back into my main floor. This is my final view. Make sure you save this before you go on to ceilings. And with that, that takes care of the flooring. Get this added in. Next video will be on how to add in a ceiling. Good luck. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Talk to you soon.